Okay, so let's do it. Ben, thank you for joining us in Social Media Marketing Day. It's always a pleasure to have a conversation with another marketing nerd. I'm sorry if hopefully I'm not crossing the line, but I think nerd in a good way. We just eat, breathe, and shit marketing, I guess.
Yeah.
Ben, for those that don't know you, do you mind introducing yourself and what is that you're doing right now?
My name is Ben Perry, and I am a senior advisor for Traffic and Funnels. We are an 8-figure digital marketing consultancy. We essentially help client businesses grow and scale. Anywhere from somebody who's just doing, say, 3 to 5, or even if you have a new business, to businesses that are already well established who are rocking at 30 to 50K, and they want to scale up to 6 figures a month and beyond. We really help to work with those clients, and I've been very blessed to be a part of Traffic and Funnels for almost going on a year now. Just recently crossed over $1 million in revenue generated for the company, and I can't say, I literally cannot say, because it's still fresh, but we are working with some of the top brands in the industry, and it's really exciting to be able to get to see those things behind the scenes.
I bet it is. For us, it's like going to the kids store, to the toy store, and we see all these nice things behind the scene, and we start smiling like little kids. But Ben, when you're talking about scaling, people know what scaling means, but somehow, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, somehow people starting out struggle to find or to accept that scalability. For example, email newsletter. I still find a lot of business owners that don't use email newsletters. If you have to advise somebody that is starting out, or if you need to help somebody, what is the first thing you look to scale in a company? When it comes to marketing, social media marketing.
Well, that's actually kind of an oxymoron, because it's like you want to get some clients in the door first before you really start to scale up. So it's like, if you're new, I wouldn't say don't worry about scaling. You just need to focus on consistent client acquisition. If your business is generating, I would say, at least 20K a month, and you know that you have your offer dialed in, it's validated, enough people are buying it, but maybe you're the bottleneck to your sales. That would be a great time for you to begin to start to think about scaling up. If you are selling at, like, if you know that if somebody gets onto the phone with you and they're basically going to be closed, either A, your price is too low, you're charging too low, or B, it's really time for you to start to bring in, like, your offer's validated enough. So now it's time to remove you as the bottleneck of sales and start to implement new salespeople in that role, so that you can begin to focus on the vision of where the company is going, rather than being stuck in the business.
I think I probably asked 10 questions ahead, talking about scalability, but maybe we should start with a simple approach. What is, when we're talking about marketing, what is traffic and conversion marketing approach?
Traffic and funnels?
Traffic and funnels.
Yeah, so really it comes down to making sure that you have a good offer. Everything circles around having a good offer. And that could be anything, anywhere from your messaging, it could be your price point, it could be how you're delivering it. If you have your fulfillment set up to where you're only at 5 clients, but you're completely strapped for time, well, that would be an example of, like, a broken offer. Now, when we fix these offers, that's when people begin to A, get their time back, B, leverage their expertise, make more money. But it's also, we're helping with the messaging. So that's the offer. Then it becomes the messaging. How are you attracting those clients? How are you positioning yourself? How are you making it to where you have the right type of clients, the ideal clients for you being attracted to your offer to where they want to raise their hand and talk to you. But then also, how are you repelling everybody else who's not? Because not everybody is your avatar. It's just as much about client attraction as it is about client filtration, client selection.
Ben, do you find that price is a filter for a specific type of client? Like the higher the price, some people say that the higher the price, the better the client. Do you agree with that statement?
I would agree with it. I really would. But then again, not every business is trying to be like a luxury type of business.
Understood.
But I would say that even not all businesses are, just because you have a higher ticket item doesn't mean that you're a luxury. It just means that you have, your worth. You're not going to work for free. The person hearing or watching this probably already knows that they should be charging more, but they have some mindset issues as far as like, man, I don't know if anybody would even pay that. I don't know if I even feel good about myself that I could charge that, if I can even deliver those types of results. It's more of what's going on up here than it is what's actually like the deliverables. So your question, do you get a better quality client with a higher price? The answer is yes. Because the more that somebody pays, the more they pay attention.
Ben, early you mentioned that the offer is pretty much the most important thing. What is that you selling? What is that you selling? But then you mentioned how you are attracting the ideal client, how you are attracting people. Can you elaborate on that? What should we focus on?
The messaging? Yeah. It depends on what your business is, because a business that is attracting, say, dentists is going to need something entirely different than, say, like we had a client, he was a chess master, and he created a high ticket offer specifically to teach people how to get better at chess. And he did pretty well. And so his messaging was all crafted around attracting that type of person who wants to get better at chess. We're not worried about like anybody else, because anybody who's not looking for chess, right, to get better at chess, I think his offer was $3,000. They're going to say you're out of your mind. Like, I'm not going to pay that. Well, of course, that's not who we're talking to. But when we have the proper messaging that attracts that client, but it also repels, and maybe somebody is a brand new chess player and they're just getting into like getting better at chess, but maybe it's just a hobby. Well, his messaging is going to repel that hobbyist and pull that person who actually wants to get better and is willing to invest in themselves to get there.
Now, Ben, you said the message. So we're jumping from the what selling to what we're going to say to craft that a specific offer that is going to attract and repel the people that we want and repel those that we don't want. Do you find? I think people are posting stuff on social media based on personal and often wrong assumptions about their ideal client. Have you found any a situation similar to that, or how, if you find a client that is posting for the wrong idea, for trying to attract or posting stuff to attracting the wrong person, what would you say? How would you approach that to steer that person to start attracting the ideal client?
It usually comes down to not that they are purposefully attracting the wrong client. I think it's because they themselves are not very clear on the offer and the results that they're providing and the concrete, tangible results that get missed in your messaging. So when somebody is, say for instance, if it's somebody who's selling, say, health coaching, and they go, if you lose weight, then you're going to feel great about yourself. You're going to have more confidence. You're going to feel amazing in your swimsuit. Well, those things are great. But we want to like tie it to something that is both specific, measurable, or an event. So, and that's what I see as missing in people's, what we would call organic, if you're posting on Facebook. And so specific and measurable is like, all right, so if somebody lost 20 pounds, you can say, do you want to lose 20 pounds? You can go a step further. Do you want to lose 20 pounds and fit into your old swimsuit or fit into your old cheerleader outfit? That's an example of specific and measurable around like health. Wealth is pretty easy. I can help you make more money. How much more money? 5K, 10K. That's pretty easy. Relationships is a little bit trickier, but that's where we go to events. If you're helping, say, a man get a date with a woman, that date is the event. Oh my gosh, I got a date. I got a phone number. She gave me her phone number. If it's for the woman and she's trying to attract Mr. Right, the event would be he proposed. Oh my gosh. Or we got married. Another event for, say, in business world is somebody is working on their 9 to 5 and they want to quit their 9 to 5 to go full-time on their side business, which they want to make their full-time business. Maybe somebody hires you and they go through your program and now they're able to fire their boss so they can start their own thing. That's an event. Those are all things that are specific and measurable that you can put into your organic that's going to attract that right type of client.
Ben, you mentioned that you found that, or you in your opinions, because people are not clear on what they offer. You say a couple more words than that, but is any exercise or anything we can do to get clearer with what we offer?
It's a really good question. I think that if you write down and just take a notepad out and write down all of the results that you can help somebody get. And you can write them down, say, what are the monetary results? What are the relationship type results? What are the health type results?
I heard that a while back and I don't remember what was the framework, but you just reminded me. And that's a great way when you're writing stuff. That's exactly what you're saying is exactly what we need to write. What is the benefit, time, money, etc. Correct?
Yeah. I mean, I'm using a framework whenever you ask me a question, I go, well, the 3 main areas that people want results in are health, wealth, and relationships. So I just go, all right, so if somebody wants to get better, then write out all of the health benefits, write out all of the wealth, like the business, the money-making benefits, write out all of the relationship. Maybe then you got to tie that, because you can't expect people to just put 2 and 2 together. Maybe it is for you, right? But you really have to explain this from point A to point B. So when you say, I can help you, say, lose weight, you got to tie that to, I help you lose weight by helping you lose 20 pounds. So you're going to fit into your old cheerleader outfit, which is going to increase your confidence, which is going to increase the way you show up at work, which is going to increase the likelihood that you either get a raise and then you make more money. Making more money is going to make it to where you finally get into that big house that you've always been wanting to get into. So you're not just investing into losing a couple pounds, you're investing into your future house, your future life. You got to make those connections.
And often that is what is missing, those connections. Ben, when I first came across you a couple of years ago, you were, at that point, you were using a lot the binary question. That's how you used to call them. I don't know if you still call them that way.
The binary post, yeah.
The binary post. And then it became not a religion, but not a sport, but something that I do with frequency, creating a list of notes that I want to ask, and I try to get better with the questions. But one thing, what is your approach when you ask questions on social media?
You mean like why or how do I craft the question?
Well, first of all, you started with why. So I think, in my opinion, people ask the wrong questions on social media. Why would someone want to ask a question on social media besides that I want to know the answer?
I mean,
As a business
validation
owner,
is a big one.
can you repeat that again, please?
Validation. So they want to be validated for what they believe, or they're broadcasting their beliefs.
And they want to see who they attract.
And so it is a statement, not just of like the question says more about that person than it really does about anything else.
Makes sense.
And because that question it has a vibrational frequency, if you will, right? It's going to attract that same type of person and repel everybody else. So or a question, the binary posts are meant to attract both types of people, which is why they get so much engagement. Because a binary post looks to take, for lack of a better term, everybody on the left and everybody on the right and put them into one post. Because here's an example. What's better, Apple or Android? You're going to get so many different people because you have Android fans and you have Apple fanboys all day long. They're going to get into their own little conversations in your post, and you get to just feed off of all of that juicy engagement.
Now,
same thing with anything else that is polar opposites.
I love it. That's something I would do, but I come across people that are afraid to be controversial online, and they definitely stay within the lines. If we don't want to be polarizing and we want to use the question as a filter mechanism or maybe to validate, there is a way that, what would you suggest so we don't attract both sides?
For a binary post?
Yeah. Or if not a way to attract both sides? Maybe how you maybe how you word the question, maybe?
Well, what's the outcome that you're looking for?
That is the question. That is what I wanted to get, because I think where we're missing is what is the actual reason? As a business owner, in my opinion, you're wasting your time if you just want to say you drink coffee, unless you sell coffee or your product is something related about coffee. Recently, I asked a question about military on my page, and I've been asking that not about the military, but questions, longer questions, just to see. But it was just like you say, it was a validation about what people are watching my stuff, what are their values, what are they looking, and what is safe for Angel to post on social media. I personally, I know that I can do the drama, I can do the us versus them. I've just been trying to stay away from it. But I love your binary approach. I love the simple question of the thumbs up, thumbs down. Can you elaborate why that works?
Well, it's only one character that you're asking. The reason why it's called binary is because it's Y or N, yes or no, A or B, true or false. But we're not writing out true or false. We're writing T or F, A or B, Y or N. People inherently understand that. And so everybody's busy on social media. They're busy being busy. And the micro commitment is just one character. And if you can get somebody to just leave one character, I mean, how easy is that? One character. Then you'll have multiple people leave answers. And then what happens is somebody will say something that somebody else disagrees with, and they'll just go to leave their one character. Like maybe they say false. They write F, but then somebody said true, and it just offends that person's sensibilities for whatever reason. And like they can't, and now they're emotionally invested. And the quality of the binary post is how emotionally charged is the topic. And so it begins to just go off into a firestorm. Well, why? Why do that in the first place? And the whole reason is because you want to generate a ton of engagement, because it's going to signal to the algorithm, hey, the very next post this person makes, let's send it to more people. So if, for example, what would be a reason why you would want everybody to see your next post? Maybe you have an offer. Maybe you're about to drop a link or tell somebody where to go, a call to action. So you could do a binary post and then post your offer on the very next post. Now, what's going to happen is that probably nobody's going to like it. Maybe one or two people who are already clients, because that's just how human beings are, right? Unless they've already socially validated you by becoming your client, odds are that people aren't going to actually like click like, but they will see it. And that's what you want. They will click on your link because you can link track and you can see everybody clicking your link. That's what you want. That's why I know this works. Now, when it comes to like people who, it's like, how can I ensure that the algorithm shows me love as much as possible? You can do the binary post. You can change your profile photo. That's a big one. It's going to get seen a lot, which means that everybody who likes your new Facebook profile or comments on your binary post, that's now one more association, one more link in the affinity between you and me. So Facebook's like, oh, these two people, they get along. Let's show more of their posts. And if you get a post that is a runaway post of engagement, like a binary post, what will happen is you'll actually get a third-party reach. Third-party reaches are where, say you're friends with somebody named Sarah, and Sarah is friends with somebody named David. David is not your friend, but you are friends with Sarah. It will show to David that Sarah commented on your post. That's how you begin to hack the algorithm.
Love it. Ben, what is now that you are seeing things on a bigger scale, have you noticed that post frequency helps or hurts, or is indifferent?
As far as Facebook is concerned, I think that posting has its place, but it's really only 20% of actually what needs to be done if you want to have a business that actually works.
So running ads behind the post, or running more ads in 80-20 ads versus content creation?
I'm going to push this down. I don't know why my this is getting, I'm so blown out. I don't know why.
You're using the DSLR?
I am. There we go. Oh, that's better. Okay. No ads. Not really. Not unless you're already big, like, and you're like ready to scale up.
Okay. So 1 time, 2 times a day is normal, Monday to Friday for more normal local businesses?
Normal businesses, I mean, you want to have probably 3 times a day. 3 times a day, just so that you're top of mind. Also, so that when somebody goes to your profile, they're not like, well, this person hasn't posted since 1999. Okay. So like show that you're actually relevant. But if you're a coaching, or if you have a coaching consulting business where you have clients, or even if you have an agency where you are, doing done for you work, where you asked me, like, what do I see now that I kind of see the bigger picture? Well, the bigger picture is this: you need to be in conversations with people as much as possible in Messenger, or if you're on LinkedIn, in conversations with people inside of LinkedIn, because there's something called, have I ever showed you my business trifecta?
I don't think so. Maybe if it happens, if it happened at one point, I don't recall, Ben.
Okay, then I'm gonna do this because
Oh, you know what? I think it's a triangle. The triangle and the circle.
It's three circles.
No, but if you don't mind sharing it, if you have time.
Yeah, let me see something to write on here. Oh, perfect. Hopefully I've got. Oh, here we go.
So Ben, when is the wedding?
No, man. I gotta propose first. Don't, man. It's on the DL, man. Why you gotta call me out like that?
No. It was about that post. I don't know if you saw that post.
Oh no, I saw that post. I saw that.
It didn't come from Angel. It came from the other side.
Yeah.
So while you write that, well, actually, I'm not gonna distract you. I was gonna ask you about touch point, but okay, that's the okay.
Okay, so I don't know if this is going to be, yeah, it's going to be backwards because my shirt's backwards. But just so you know, this, and for those that are listening, this is a Venn diagram. It's got three circles in like a pyramid form. One circle on top, two circles on bottom. They're overlapping. This is what I don't call this. I learned this from one of my first mentors. Okay. So the top bubble here, the top circle, is called the job. Okay. The job. Now, the job is you doing what you do, right? It's you teaching, it's you creating funnels, it's you doing marketing. It's like you and like doing the work for your clients. Now, the second circle, this is called the business. All right. This circle here. Okay. The business. Now, the business consists of only one of two things, which I'm going to get to here in just a second. We're going to move on to the third circle. The third circle is called the busy. Okay. So we've got the job, the business, and the busy. The busy is everything that isn't the job and isn't the business. It's you watching TV. It's you eating with your family. It's you sleeping. It's you even watching training, you listening to this podcast, right? Or this video. This is not you actually like performing work, and this is not you in the business. This is all the extra stuff, okay, is the busy. Now, I told you the business only consists of one of two things. I call these the critical two. So I say 20% of your time needs to be spent in the job and the busy. Okay? 20% of your time in the job and the busy. And 80% of your time needs to be spent in the business. Have I built up enough tension and mystery yet on what the critical two are for the business? Okay, good. Here they are. Number one, you need to be scheduling conversations with people so that you can make them an offer. Okay? So, number one is scheduling conversations with people, preferably qualified prospects, so that you can make them an offer. All right. Number 2 is being in a conversation with a qualified prospect where you can make them an offer. So you're either scheduling people to have a conversation with, or you're actively in a conversation with a person where you can make them an offer. This is the business, okay? Number 1 and number 2. This is where the money is made. Money is not made in the job. Like, you don't actually get actively paid for like delivering, the work. And how do I know this? Because you might be like, well, what are you talking about? Like, I got paid before. Okay. How about this? Have you been the person, or have you known a person who has been on the roller coaster of go, attract, like prospect, get a client, then now you're in fulfillment, and while you were in fulfillment, all of your leads dried up, and now you got to go generate leads all over again? You don't get paid for the job. You get paid for the business, which is scheduling conversations and being in a conversation where you can make somebody an offer.
Then touch points. Learning when I was learning about marketing, learning about sales, the touch points subject came to the conversation more than once. That you're supposed to talk. Somebody needs to touch points with you 7 to 11 times before they make the sale. Now that you're seeing things a little bit bigger, that's still true? People need several touch points before, at least 7 to 11 touch points, or you think that journey has shortened?
I'd say that's about right. But the thing is that you can ramp up that time if you've got effective marketing. So if you don't have anything out there, and if you don't have any case studies, if you don't have any of that, then somebody might need a little extra time, before they're willing to invest and get help for their business. That's not saying it's impossible. We've seen people definitely enroll. But what I am saying is that if you've got good marketing, AKA let's just say, for example, that you have a conversation with a prospect, you make them an offer, and they say, I don't know, or I need to think about it, or whatever. Well, there's 2 different things that could have happened. Number 1, let's start over. Let's say, in the scheduling the conversation, let's say that you get a strategy session booked with somebody. You say, look, I actually have this like hour-long training. It's really, really good. It's going to help us to hit the ground running when we talk on Thursday. Do you have an hour to be able to go through this? Yes? Okay, cool. Now they're going to go watch that training. Guess what that training is? Marketing. Okay? It's showing that you know how to get the result. All right? And you can put anything you want in that training. Make it good. Then whenever they get onto the call with you, you walk them through your process. You make them the offer. Let's just say that they don't enroll. You say, okay, great. Well, then here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to send you some homework. It's like a really good PDF. And the PDF, you've got 3 in your inventory. Maybe each PDF speaks to an objection that they might have. Maybe it's like they don't have money, or maybe they don't have time, or maybe they think they want to delay. And whatever the objection is, you can write that little PDF, like, almost like a mini sales letter for why, like, they walk them through, change their thinking, but then that's also marketing on the back end so that maybe the next time they're ready to go. How many touch points is that? Well, depends on, maybe you send them all 3. So it really comes to, instead of you waiting for calendar touch point times, you send them more pieces of your content to consume. so that they feel it collapses time. They feel like they've known you forever, even though it's only been a couple days.
They collapse time, buying time. But yeah, I agree 100%. Love it. Ben, two more questions. Reach. What can we do to increase our reach? How can we reach more people?
Have a good message, first of all. Have a good offer. Make sure that what you're offering is what people actually want. A lot of people out there are trying to offer something that nobody ever wants. And they're like, well, nothing's really happening. It's like, okay, well, and the thing that really perks my ear up is when I hear somebody say, well, this is revolutionary. Nobody else is doing this. Man, I get real freaked out when I hear that, because I'm like, nobody else is doing this. Okay. Well, has anybody asked you for this? Well, no. But people are going to want it. It's like, okay, I get where you're coming from. But man, if you don't have any competitors, you're going to have a really hard time really like getting this off the ground, because pioneers, you know the saying, if you're a pioneer in this new industry, pioneers are famous for coming back with arrows in their back.
It's true. What about engagement, Ben? How can we increase engagement? Is there any easy way to increase engagement?
I mean, binary post is a great way. I say when you do your social media, it should be broken up into two sides of the same coin. Your posts need to have character, like your character, and your posts need to have competency and character. If you have too many competency posts, which is posts where you're showing results, screenshots, case studies, you're writing like a value post, say it's a value post that you would put inside of a Facebook group, or you're making offers. All of those are like competency posts, which are really, really good for demonstrating competence, that you know your stuff. If you have too many of those type of posts, though, you come off as too serious, and people, they glaze over, because it's like, all right, it's business and it's social, and maybe somebody isn't really necessarily looking for that. Now, on the other hand, same side, same coin, other side of the coin is character type posts. This is where you post a post about your personality, or maybe you're posting about a story. It's a personal story of yours. You're posting about hobbies. Myself, what do you know about my character that I post up, Angel?
What, the pirate?
Pirate, exactly. So I have a brand, a personal brand, where it's like I'm all about pirates, right? And so and because I've made that my personal brand, nobody bats an eye or looks at me twice if I post anything pirate. In fact, it's kind of cool. It's different. It's edgy. It's exciting. And I'm remembered for it. Same thing if I want to post about something else that I really like. Like, I'm really a fan of Ghostbusters, and I'm really a fan that they're creating another movie, right? I'll share those things which are demonstrating my character. When I demonstrate my character, when I post up pictures of my food, or I'm posting up stories where I'm traveling, I'm in the woods somewhere, I'm running. These aren't necessarily business type posts, but they're human. They're humanity type posts. And many times somebody will see one of your character posts, and they'll engage on that. And then they might click on your profile and start to see all of your business posts now. Now you've become relevant to them. Now, and I actually had this happen. Now you might have somebody reach out and want to do business with you. Case in point, I woke up one day about 2 or 3 years ago. This is when I still had long hair. My hair was just crazy. It was massive, right? Just so bad. and I took a picture of my crazy bed hair, and I said, "Crazy hair, don't care." Absolute horrible photo. Somebody who doesn't have as much confidence would cringe inside if they ever posted anything up like that. But me, just that's who I am. I'm genuine. I had a guy reach out and say, "You know what? I knew you were the real deal when you posted up that photo of you with the bed hair. I just picked up your organic marketing secrets program."
That's sometimes what is missing, a little bit of character, personality, and not all business. You just make me think that I need to show that right now, today, when we finish our conversation, and I'm not going to get too fancy. I'm going to go live and just.
Man, I think you could even just take a screenshot of your setup right now because, bro, this is badass. You've got your lighting down.
Thank
I
you.
would just take, yeah. Well, no. I'm talking about you.
Me.
Yes, your lighting. I would take a screenshot of you just like looking into the camera because, man, you look like you're you're a high-end YouTuber, man. You've definitely got your video down. What camera is this? I know you're using DSLR.
Yeah, so I right now I'm using a Panasonic G85, but just because that's the one I had laying around. I have three Sonys that I'm playing with a 3-camera setup for a show that is coming. But we talk that another day, Ben. Ben, I want to respect your time. I know you are busy. Where people can find you, any last thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you can basically find me on Facebook, Ben Perry, but more so if you want to see where I'm posting most of my content these days, it's really inside of the Traffic and Funnels group, the Traffic and Funnels Facebook group. Inside there, I've got almost a year's worth of content inside there now. It's a free group. You don't have to be a client to have access to any of it. But some of my more newer ideas, newer thoughts, things that I talk about organic, I talk about sales. I mean, if you want to hear from somebody who sold over $1 million in revenue in less than a year, then you can go inside and get some of my thoughts. Or shoot me a friend request because you're going to get some pirates in your newsfeed.
Ben, thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure, Angel. Thanks for having me on.